Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Foxing Around podcast. I'm your host, Raymond Fox. And my co-host is on mute. Give him a sec.
And I'm your co-host, River Thomas.
Hey, what's good, bro? How you doing? What's going on, bro? What you up to?
Not too bad, bro. Just finished a 2-day mental health first aid course with as a team. Our coach Ryan signed us up for that. So I woke up at 9 the last 2 mornings, and yeah, took the course. Very, very beneficial. I recommend. A point she said there's that everybody gets first aid, but some of them they never even use first aid. But more importantly is we have to help people. Sometimes we're having mental health issues, and that's more prevalent than let's say a car accident or cutting a finger or something. So we should definitely be more of us taking mental health first aid courses so we know what to do in those situations.
Hey, no cap, brother. I'm happy that you went through that and got yourself a little bit more understanding, because it is important that we take care of our mental health, especially as men. And man, that must have been a good bonding experience for you too, brother. So I'm stoked you got to hang out with your team.
Yeah, bro, it was dope. It was dope.
Dope. All right, hey, if you could do us a favor, everyone tuned in, man, give us a like and a share real fast. Let's get this video popping, man. Let's get some likes happening. Let's get this video shared. Let's get a big, nice, good audience here, man. I'm really excited for the guests. We're going to introduce them in a short minute. But man, what else has been up, bro? You been doing anything lately other than
nothing, bro, nothing. You just got back home from from back home when we were in Regina, and yeah, I got to get back to the swing of school, man. It's the hardest part. It's so hard to stay engaged right now. Well, it's hard to stay engaged when I'm watching you eat food. Nah, just kidding. No, but like, you know what I mean, bro. It's hard to stay engaged with these Zoom classes.
Yeah. Well, man, I think this is the first time where I actually feel like we're gonna let the guest introduce himself, man, because anytime any kind of introduction that we're gonna give him is a little bit short. Is gonna fall a little short compared to his skills on the microphone, man. So I'm gonna let this man introduce himself. I will give him the floor. Here is Mr. Earl Wood.
Tatamskat na no ako magantik pugito magapik dapat tamego ba adot ska tips kago ba mas que sis wase we are foxing around guy and I'd like to thank Ray Fox and River Thomas for asking me to come on. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Hey, thank you for coming through, Earl. We were really excited. We got a hold of you initially while Vincent Short was talking about you, and he had some high hopes and praises for you. So we took our chance. We had to ask right when we had you on the phone, and thankfully you agreed, man. So thank you for coming through tonight and making our acquaintance. So first things first, I would like to ask you, because it's right there up on your screen, man. Tell us what you've been up to lately. I know Young Arrow is something that you're really excited and happy about and proud to be doing, man. Tell us what Young Arrow is, what you've been doing since the COVID times, and where you're looking forward to.
Well, all right. Well, I'm glad you asked me that. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, profound moments are often brought in that can, and they resound in our youth for an eternity. And ladies and gentlemen, this summer we have a brand new program coming out that's going to be brought to and following the Indian relay racing scene. I'd like to say that's to all the Indian relay racing warriors and lady warriors out there and young braves. You guys are the arrow to coherency and collective, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be an exciting summer. And we are asking that when we come by, this is going to be the One Arrow Indian relay racing scene. It's going to be a program, and it's going to be brought to each of the communities to give the young people of that community a chance to get involved in this ever-growing and electric, exciting sport.
Wow, man, that sounds like such a special program. Are you guys going to be doing like a little bit of work with them, showing them the horses as well as up in the booth? And what's your plans to have the youth kind of integrated into the Indian relay scene?
Well, first of all, we're going to thank all the parents for risking their child tax in the 2021 racing season coming up. You're all right. And it's gonna have all the necessary safety equipment. We're gonna have a workshop. We're gonna have a workshop connecting and introducing them to the indigenous worldview and our connection to a kawakumakan no ago gim satamag. Sama is skate the mataus chigoga satamag. Ewa Ipta kagiut na mua su ay sino miomachi win. There's holistic values in horsemanship, and as indigenous people, it's in our DNA to have a natural relationship with our relatives. And this very exciting electric sport has grown, and it started off like a raindrop, and it grown into a storm of coherency and collective mentality and enthusiasm. And it's a great way to inspire and instill wonderful values in our young people.
Wow, man, that sounds like such a special program, and I think any child or youth that's going to be involved is going to get some top-notch mentorship and learn a lot from the likes of you, man. I'm really excited. We'll talk a little bit more about the Indian relay scene, and I know you play a huge part in that, so we'll explore that a little bit more. First things first, I kind of want to get what we like to do is we like to go back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about young baby Earl Wood. What was he like? Where'd you grow up? How'd you grow up? The early roots of Earl Wood.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I fell off this wagon going across, and I was raised by. Actually, I'm very proud to be a member of the Satellite Cree Nation. The Aino, Minuisto out at Tamskat now, Minakakyo, Aino, and I'd like to say hi to all my relatives and all my friends and all my fellow nation members at a proud, beautiful Cree Nation of the Satellite Cree Nation. And myself, I just like everybody else, I've been affected by that intention, generational trauma that arrived here. And ladies and gentlemen, I went to a residential school, and I've been in the social services system, and et cetera. And I found that that music and culture and ceremony and the vibratory energy of the language had inspired me to want to get to know myself, to be authentic, my authentic self, and I found that that was a great catalyst for that. But as I grew up, I realized that without responsible use of your intelligence, without responsible, coherent use of your intelligence, it just neutralizes all that spiritual intention. So I took it upon myself to take responsibility for that and actually try to manifest them prayers into reality. And as a result, I found that synchronicity arrived, and there's been motion in a positive direction. So, yeah. That'll about sum it up.
Wow. I want to touch on a few parts, man. It sounds like you went through a phase, a part of your life where you were away from your culture, your language was stripped away, a lot of traumas and abuse and just horrible things that must have, taken place, as we all know, in the residential school system. Was that something that played into you early on? Like, did you feel the effects of that from a very young age?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime your teepee is upset, you're gonna feel you're gonna feel the effects of that. And essentially with the 60 scoop and everything that's all the intentions that were intended upon our people and has played out, and it's become generational. And ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe that it was that we are now at a point where that coherency and collective mentality has awoken. I believe the horses, they play a part of it. The Indian relay is a part of that coherency. It's a part of that collective stride and glide towards a holistic, all of us, everybody, all inclusive. And I think it's wonderful things like this, whether it's powwow or Indian relay or hand games or hockey, anything out there that our indigenous worldview plays and it has something to offer to that. Indian relay is a brand new sport to the modern day equine scene, but it comes with history and it comes with raw electric energy and it comes with spirit that it just reverberates beyond the track. Let me tell you that. When I go home, sometimes coming from those Indian relays, I feel like I'm reset. I feel like those horses. I feel like that stride and glide, that I can manifest that into my everyday reality.
Right. All right, let's jump right into it then. When you're a vital part of the Indian relay scene, like you're probably one of the most important parts other than the horses and the riders. You're the entertainment. You're the ones that keeps it going. River always has a good story about he joined you in the booth one time and seen you moving around and doing your thing. He said, it was such an electric time for him. What was it like to do it for the first time, to get in the booth the first time and try to bring that energy? Was it natural? Did it feel a little bit like you were out of place or you were right at home?
Interesting. You should ask that. I started announcing a long time ago, and I started at a powwow in British Columbia at Harrison Hot Springs. We went there to sing, and their MC didn't show up. And I don't know why they asked me. I would never ask me. And they asked me, and I said, okay, I'll give it a try. Sure, why not? So I went at it, and we went in there, and it turned out okay. And so I just, from there, and I went in, got into rodeos and round dances and started doing rodeos. And I went into chuck wagons, flat racing, and with chuck wagons, with any given meet there on any given day, you call about 30, sometimes 40 heats in one day. And it was very exciting and exhilarating. I seen a lot of energy and I seen a lot of connectiveness with people and the horses and that whole scene there. Then one day, this gentleman gave me a call and said, "Hey, Earl, would you like to try this? Would you like to try this Indian relay?" And I said, "Sure, I'd love to. It's an honor to do anything like that." And I found myself announcing at the Canadian Indian Relay Finals in Calgary. And I'd like to thank TK for your services out there for giving me that opportunity. Thank you very much there, partner. You know who you are. You were the guy that got me started in the Indian Relay. And just like everybody else, that stride and glide, that just swept me up. And I'm going for the ride and see where it goes.
Wow, that's awesome, man. River, you got some?
Yeah, no, so how long ago was that that you had your very first MC gig? Because man, it looks like you were made to do it. You were born. And it's so fascinating to hear, just to be a part of, to see the energy.
Yeah, I know. Like when you say you were born to do it, that's what they tell you when they want you to do something. You're born to do that. Take that garbage out. But yeah, it's well, it's been a long time. It's been like over maybe 30 years of announcing, and every time you go, you pick up something and you learn something from the people, and you also learn something about yourself. And I've learned that it's a great honor and a responsibility, and it's a great privilege anytime you're going to be called as an osakto, a speaker for the people, for that nation. I've been to and it's taken me all over the place, and I've met all kinds of people. And what I've seen is we have a collective as Indigenous people. We have that, and it connects us. I do believe that we have that collective memory in our DNA. And I really think that. And when I go to these different communities, you see the resilience and you see the love and the energy of the people, the beauty of the people and the collective pride. And having that, that's medicine. That's medicine for us as Indigenous people. We understand and we realize that we live in a vibratory reality. And everything on this beautiful creation that we call Earthwalk here is made out of the same liquids, metals, and minerals. That therefore we're all connected. We're all connected, and we all have being. We're just different shapes, so we have different purposes. I think with the Indian Relay and anything that we can connect ourselves back to, reconnect. I don't believe there's ever been a complete disconnection. if that genetic memory is in our DNA, I think it's just like a storm. It starts off with a molecule, and then it begins a drop, and then uh, it becomes a full-fledged storm of coherency. I believe that could be applied to anything, whether it's love, whether it's healing or forgiveness, whether it's pagkitamon, sakituin, wakutuin. Saan may nute ito? Ay.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and what you say with that is like how it brought you so much together. Like what a lot of people don't realize is that we are very community family oriented people, right? We strive on those gatherings every weekend for the powwows, for the Indian relay. We love seeing the same people weekend after weekend, week after week, the competition, and just that big community that gets built. What have you been doing like with COVID taking that away from you?
Well, I think that every time we think, we emit electromagnetic waves because everything is about energy. We live in a vibratory reality, but we're spiritual beings. And I think that we're always connected. I think we're always connected to our loved ones and each other. Yeah, I think it's this predatory energy that was brought upon by a industrial revolution, which led to which led to um, um, uh, which led to many different intrusions of our natural being and natural state of being. Myself, my grandkids come and visit. I've been doing my best too. I've been taking responsibility, taking that personal responsibility to a collective. Trying to stay away from people, wash my hands and stuff like that. I used to only wash myself once a week. Now I do it at least once and a half a week. But that what I noticed is with with the people staying home, people are beginning to talk to each other again. People are beginning to talk to their immediate families. They're beginning to hopefully and maybe find new ways and ways of growing and connecting. I know the social media is very, very instrumental in that. However, it's also a format for lateral violence, and it's like a kimutsi coming in at night and nobody sees them. And I think this sometimes when nobody sees you, or with this kind of a format, we can abuse that. And I think that's an abuse of a wonderful media that we can use to further enhance our collective indigenous worldview as a collective and make it readily available to everybody.
Wow. Yeah, man. I was just, we were kind of having that conversation, me and River, yesterday about the lateral violence that we had seen and the things just going on Facebook now. We got there's some ugly words out there being shared, or there's not enough support on these social media platforms. And as Indigenous people, I think that's something that we need to look at and we need to bring forward in the conversation. What are some things that you might recommend to somebody that is feeling that I guess afraid to have the conversation about something like that? It's a touchy subject for certain people to speak on lateral violence and the things that they're facing, because they also don't want to victimize themselves. What kind of advice could you give, or maybe just some ideas that have helped you through?
Well, pabago no ay sino niya. Mo stigi we next skate and mo min nag skate tamas ana put mi nakakwewa we tamo hakaw yang how to live. And I said, I'm a pitiful man. I don't claim to know anything or to try to tell anybody how to live their life. But what I would like to possibly suggest or help out with some words is, we live in this world where every word has power, and the power of every word is that every word has its own precise meaning. And I work with young people, and I use this analogy. I say, you know what? You could punch a guy in the eye, and he's going to get a black eye, right? In a week or two, maybe the black eye's gone, and you won't even see it anymore. But if you say something to them, it sticks to their spirit like Velcro. And I always ask them, how many of you remember when you were a kid, you remember something that somebody bad said to you? They all put up their hand. Then they go on to say about the power of the word, and that leads us to language, not to be frivolous with words, right? And it's all energy based. And regarding our language, there's it's a visualary language, but it also has spirit. It also has connects you to an authentic self. And being imprinted when we're born here into this system, I believe that is interrupted our perception of reality and our perception of ourselves, quite frankly. And I think that affects us as a whole. But our culture, our language, it connects us to our authentic reality and our authentic self and perception of self. Even the language itself, I think it has a vibratory healing value to it when used. So I love to hear it.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? I'm gonna pull up this video. I went and found a video that speaks a little bit about the revitalization of the Cree language. I think it's a real special, and I think our viewers would love to see it too. So I'm gonna pull it up here on the screen. I found it on a YouTube clip. Look at that handsome man right there. I'll give it a play. Give me 1 second. Here we go. 1 sec. Let's get it up there. Perfect. There we go.
Where I come from, we've always had hockey. In residential school, we used to go out and play hockey.
Oh, res Wi-Fi. Give me a sec.
It was an escape from that reality, and I found that.
Hold on. Let's see if we can get it.
When I got on the ice, I could be anything.
Oh, come on. 1 second. I'll get it queued up.
Being here on Rogers Hometown Hockey in Cree, I've seen a revitalization of interest within the young people. We have a very unique team here. We come from all walks of life regarding how we grew up, but we all have a common collective, which is the loss of the language. Clarence is an amazing guy. So is Jason and John Chabot. Well, we all know him. We have all watched him on hockey. When Clarence calls it, I know there are elders out there that are fluent speakers that are getting a chuckle and they're smiling. It's a great way to bring our people together. All right, that's cool.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about that experience and just your revitalization of the Cree language. And, you were just speaking on it now, and I think those words just hit it right on the head too, but kind of sum up what that experience means to you. And
oh, sure. I was reading some of those comments. Kind of cool out there. Well, for me to be a part of that, it was epic, and it was magnanimous, and it was overwhelming at times. But it was also a personal reconciliation moment for myself of reclaiming some of myself. And I was very, very fortunate and very grateful to be a part of it, because there are so many beautiful, wonderful Cree speakers and knowledgeable people out there. So for me to have that opportunity was a wonderful experience, and I was very grateful for it. To actually go up there, and we went up and watched the Winnipeg Jets play, and we went up to all where the players and the managers and all the media was. There was these three Indian guys. And they had this smorgasbord there, so we went out there and we went to town, me and Jason, and that was kind of fun. It was really good. It was really good experience. It was this, the way Clarence calls it, it's very unique. It's very different, and it's very exciting. I'm not saying well, yeah, it is. For me as an Indigenous person listening to hockey in Cree like that, it just It just captured my complete essence of who I am as an Indigenous person and being a part of it. And the terminology and the visual that you'd get, it was just amazing. The language is definitely a catalyst and a paramount for any foundational building as an Indigenous person. Even if you learn one word a day, and I'd like to encourage all our people out there that are Indigenous speakers, kai ka papiwek. No, we that are students of the language, we that are on that trail, perhaps even a trail of tears back to authentic reclamation of self, using whatever means we can to get there, to understand ourselves through our language. And that would be a reclamation of authenticity. I would say that we could support each other and we could support our young people by by using every creative measure to make the language and the learning of the language more interesting and enticing and exciting and just completely invigorating, and make it a part of this everyday reality that we live in.
Hey, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Our buddy here, Smudge the Blade, says, DM me your address and he'll send you a bunny hug. He actually sent me and Ray some stuff. He's a First Nations man, and he started up a clothing company that focuses on hockey, and it's getting a lot of viewers. The meaning behind it's so good. It's nothing but positivity. So yeah, definitely DM him for that, and you'll get a hoodie. Another thing I want to ask you about is, how did you land the APTN job commentating in Cree? Like, how did that come about? Because everybody sees you on TV, they see Earl Wood, they see the electricity, but like, I don't think a lot of people know what got you there, and like, just like the very first, I guess, probably initial phone call or meeting to what that is, what we see today.
Essentially, APTN put out a call, to my understanding, for promo videos of yourself. And I sent one in. I actually went over and visited Fawn in Dallas one night, and they said, "Hey, Dad, you should make a promo video. Let's make it." And I said, "Okay, well, let's make it right now." So I just made it and sent it in. I never really thought nothing of it. And then a few weeks later, I got a call. And I was going to go to the band office there, and I got a call and they said, "Hey, you want to be on hockey?" And I said, "Oh, hey, that'd be great." And I just never went to the band office, and I just left my Willie check till next month. That's what happened. You just called me up, man. And I was very excited, and I was very grateful for that opportunity. And I thought, geez, you know what? If I could somehow put a spin on this so that I can inspire some young people, if I could just get somebody out there just to even say, "Hey, I could do that. I could be better than that guy. I could do that. If that guy could do that, I could do that." Right. And as a result, I've had young people come up to me, they've said, "Man, oh man, Earl, that's pretty cool." And they come and say some of my phrases sometimes when I'm announcing Indian Relay or Chuck Wagons or something. So another initiative that would be interesting is to mentor some young people, right? Have an MC school or some like virtual MC thing or something happening. So, there's like, it's people like you guys, the next generation that think outside the box, but still come from that Indigenous worldview and use that arrow of clarity and coherency to go where you want to go. Use these mainstream medias to invigorate and instill and inspire and reconnect, and have that word continuum evolving in our everyday processes as Indigenous people, evolving as a collective, but it's very unique for us because we live in a world that's it's almost like a reclamation. We're trying to understand who we were as Aïnawak, as human beings, in a world that's fastly forgetting what it is to be a human being in some frame of mind, and I think sometimes. So with the collective, with this media, if used properly, it could be a very powerful tool. It could be very instrumental in creating that Indigenous collective coherency that has been always there, but it's been inundated with a predatory energy that was brought with exactly that intention of detaching. You know?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
For sure. Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure you inspired little Vincent Short there because like you said, like people don't usually say, but that kid was made to MC. He's 13 years
Oh,
old.
me?
He's
Man,
funny.
yeah, that
He's
kid's got it going on, man. Hey,
yeah, for
whoever's
sure.
collecting that guy's child welfare is lucky. That kid's talented. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. He's funny, great going parents, whatever. We're products of our environment, and we're
Mhm.
reflections of that. But yet the reflections of our ancestors are still here within us, and they reflect through our children's eyes. So there's the future, right? So kanakatugiak, tansi says waskawiak bana, tansi says papik squak. To watch how we carry ourselves, how we talk to each other, how we associate. So our young people can learn those positive ways that were so beautiful and endearing to our people in a natural way at one time.
For
Yes,
sure,
sir.
for
Wow.
sure. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you you talk about the language and how you want the young people to learn it. And it's so cool what you do because um growing up, I remember there were times when and I had this conversation with my uncle when we were driving home from Edmonton, but we had the conversation of how a lot of older people kind of ridicule the youth for messing up phrases, for messing up words, for having the mispronunciation. And one thing he told me was that there were definitely eras in Cree, and he said in order to speak Nehiawi win, you have to think like Nehiaw first before you speak it because there are Cree phrases that are Cree words that are non-translatable to English because they are two complete languages from across the ocean. They were never meant to meet each other, I guess. And yeah, so it's very cool to see you promote the language the way you do because I'm sure Ray can relate to is we what you're doing is a lot of us didn't really have that growing up. We didn't have those support systems and we didn't have the teachers willing to have the patience to teach us. And that it's just amazing to see you say it, to hear you speak, and it's amazing how you speak the language first and then you transfer it to us to English, the sentences, because then we can come back to this podcast and we can learn from that, and our viewers can learn from that, the youth can learn from that. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, young man. And it's people like you that inspire and also lay to rest our concerns for the future for our indigenous people. You guys are like the techno warriors, the new kind of techno warriors that you guys know how to do these things, and you think outside the box. I always think that we evolve. Right? We're like water. We should be like water. We should allow ourselves to evolve and be able to just like water. It finds a way, and that's what it comes back all to that natural energy, talking about energy and connectiveness. Most of my adult life and most of my professional career has been working with challenged youth and at-risk youth, and I find that this vibratory reality regarding the drum is a wonderful place to start for connection and reclamation and um, uh, awareness regarding self, even responsibility or energy, and how that relates to trauma and how that would relate to responsibility. Responsibility, response, and ability. We have the ability to respond, so we should, with the best coherent use of our intelligence and responsibly as we can. And with the drum, that is a wonderful way to do it. So our cultural, even our cultural stuff, it has wonderful elements and it has wonderful values that belong in this modern day society and in this reality. Like to also, with that language, if you're young out there and you hear this podcast and you're listening, my name is Earl, and I never always knew how to speak the language. I took it upon myself when I was young, and I started practicing it, and I kind of made fun of and sounded funny, but kept going, just trying to keep learning, keep listening to their words and words that sounded good. I'd ask, what does that mean? And I keep saying it and try to say it. And there's nothing more beautiful than communicating with your people in your language and completely understanding where you are and connecting with that spiritual essence that comes with and that coherency. It's amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to touch on something in specifically here that you were talking about, the use of the drum and singing and using your language inside of that. We didn't even talk about it yet, but you're a well-known singer. You're a well-known composer. You've built a name for yourself on the powwow circuit as well too. So tell us a little bit about your early days. I know there's an old origin story of a mighty drum group that still rocks to this day. So if you could tell us a little bit about your roots in singing and all your composing, man, where'd it come from?
Well, I believe that we all have that. I think we all have the ability of song, and I think it's an expression of our spirit. And ikayakatamo ilgumana kasi sigate mugmanuga anitan gamochik, these drum, the ones that follow that drum and follow those disciplines and know that, they know the vibratory healing energy and the importance of it. With the drum, my dad nutawi kinan gamuista, kinitan gamu pugitemana kini sateta pubina sataba kipa mawi chewe ekta. My late dad, he was a singer and he was a saddle bronc rider and he was a cultural man, and he was the one who started us singing. He used to sing, and there used to be some gentlemen and people from Mandaree, they'd come down, and now those guys, they were little boys then. Now those guys are men. He used to come visit us, and they'd sing, and we'd sing and dance in the living room there, and we used to hear it all the time. Then one time we were way down south down there, the brothers and I, and kind of got stuck, and we I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but this drum came out of we borrowed it from a museum, from the Chief Joseph Museum in Lapway, Idaho. And we were going to sing there to get out of there. We were stuck. Actually, you can't tell a story without telling the truth. Okay. The auntie kicked us all off the car. Okay. Kicked my brother off, kicked us off. We were riders, so they kicked us all off, and we boarded this drum. We were singing there, and we opened up this drum. They were calling us. What are you guys going to call yourselves? So we opened up this drum, and it said Northern Gree on it. It was from Saskatchewan, that drum. It was there a long time. They let us use it, and so that's where we started using that name. Came off of that drum. And didn't see that drum before, never seen it before, and I just opened it up, and it was that was it. That's how we started singing there, and so the brothers, they started singing, and there's been a lot of gentlemen there, lots of men. Some of them are still gone on to that other reality. There's been there's been a lot of effort and a lot of focus and a lot of spirit. A lot of intention put into the drum group to keep it this long and keep it going. Now, to everybody, to my bro Steve, and of course his beautiful wife Hilda, she was a big catalyst, big help in keeping the drum rolling too. And I'd like to thank her and thank everybody who sat at that drum. Thank all of you for leaving your home fires and going to many different places and offering your spirit in that vibratory way, in that clear way, in that good intention way, that good healing medicine way, that the Creator provided you with that gift for you going to share it like that. And it's gonna reverberate and it'll resound and it still does. Even if you're not there, that good energy was reverberating within and beyond the confines of the Power Harbor, of which community you have gone to sing. Thank you right now. Thank you very much. I'd like to tell young people that, as I was going, I kind of digressed there. The language has brought in a guy like me, a Bannock and baloney guy, brought me to places where I never imagined that. I never imagined I'd be sitting on a set on APTN with John Chabot and Jason Chemekis and Clarence Darn doing Rogers Hometown Hockey and Cree night #1. Man, that was great. And I never imagined I'd be the host of the 2020 Winter Solstice on APTN music special, and they had some amazing talent on that show, and language brought me there, and I am and embracing yourself and loving yourself and that good way of being clear with yourself, and so I'm very grateful to the people that were steadfast and that they had the fortitude to continue that the language, even in times that it was probably easier to go along. Thank you to our grandmothers and our grandfathers, all those of you that have taken it upon yourselves to exercise your indigenuity in a clear, coherent, responsible manner. Thank you, because the generations already are looking for your teachings when they need them. When they arrive here from the spirit world, they're going to be looking for those teachings, and you are the ones that have been very instrumental in them being a very real part of this reality that we live in. So thank you very much.
Dang, man, that's yeah. Whew, those are powerful words again, man. Thank you so much. I want to, what I want to do, man, is I want to see what it's like to have Earl Wood in the booth. So I'm gonna queue up another video. Let's take a look of a little bit of Indian relay action here, and hearing you call it live. I want you can keep your mic on and tell us what you're thinking at this time, how it's working, how do you get the words, ready to go, and the language to happen the way it does. I want a little play-by-play of the play-by-play, if you can do that for us, Mr. Earl Wood.
Oh, absolutely. Prior to that, I'd like to say that I'm very proud of all the Indian relay racing families out there. The communities they go to, they completely get swept away, and they get transcended to a different place in space that is completely electric. It is completely exciting, and it is completely indigenous. The indigenous motion is alive and well with Indian Relay. So we're going to thank all of you out there. Thank you very much, Indian Relay. Let's go for a ride and glide right now.
First round we go, championship Sunday, and relay racing style. It's going to be TK Farrier Services, Wild and Cree locked on in a second down there about, I'd say about a TP pole and a half. We're going to go back about 10 TP poles. We are going to pick up. That will be Stick Racing, Partner Stables, the early trailer right now. But we got two exciting electric exchanges waiting on them in the field. Around the turn to the port we go. Hold the pruning. It's going to be TK.
A lot of times when you're balancing, things just happen. Anything can happen, so you just try to pick up what you can see, and you try to keep to the front end of the race. As they come on in, you want to explain what's going on.
TK Farrier Services gets off, looking to get on and gone. Wild and Cree's on. TK Farrier Services makes contact. Here we go.
Are you constantly moving while you're doing this? Are you moving around in the booth?
Personally, I prefer to walk around. Yeah, I find I can think better, and my thoughts come faster, and I can formulate words. I try to indigenize as much as I can with indigenous terminology and relating it back to that indigenous world view.
Oh boy, good team on the back end. We're rounding the turn to the fourth we go. It's going to be Wild and Cray out of Cahill, and here comes TK Farrier Services. Stick Racing in tow. Partner Staples, boy, oh boy, long way off the broadside. We round the fourth, man. Oh man, we're coming on into the infield here with Wild and Cray. Top of that box number one. Watch the exchange. Horse jumps up, boy, jumping around. Wild and Cray tries to get on, gets on. TK gets on.
Are you ever afraid for the riders when they do that switch there?
Oh, this is a very, very dangerous sport. Yeah, like I say, anything can happen, and these guys here, they're all in it to win it. I also like to preach that brand new Indian roller racing team going to be a brand new Indian roller racing team to the scene. Going to welcome them in and doing it.
In beside him from Cahill, and they ain't giving it up yet, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be Wild and Cray. Around the third we go. We'll go back about 20. We're going to pick up Stick Racing. Partner Staples. Oh, they're going to witness it from the backside. Look what's happening on the front end. Here comes Wild and Cray. Oh, TK Farrier Services. Who's going to get there? Wild and Cray rolls in on the front end. TK, where the man Stick Racing's going to roll in a hard charging car.
Man, oh man, that sounds electric. That seems electric. Holy. That is
yeah. And you know, there's a lot of family-based values within Indian Relay. You see the families together, you see them working with the horses, you see kids riding around during the day, but when it comes down to racing time, the pride and the speed you need to take the lead is evident. They're all coming to the front side this summer. So if you can, come on out and watch it. Come on out and get that electric energy. That arrow is flying, and it's flying in a big way, and it's creating a complete electric storm in its path. So we're going to invite you to the Indian Relay Racing Scene 2021, COVID permitting.
Sorry about that. I was on mute there real quick. My bad.
All right.
So I wanted to touch base a little more with you about singing, man, because I know that it plays an inaugural part of your family, but especially with your children, you know, and all of them being very, very talented singers and songwriters and on the powwow trail. What's that been like to teach, you know, girls to be able to sing and young women now and women to you know, find their voice, I guess, in a male dominated world and what that's brought to them, you know, for their dad to be able to teach them how to sing and show them the way of the drum and the song.
Well, the voice of the Indigenous woman has become loud, and it's resounding. It's resounding way past the perimeters of Mother Earth. It goes up to the heavens. Our Indigenous women have been suffering for a very, very long time. Concessions have been made, but they've been small and few and far between. I truly think that they are the main teepee pole on any teepee. They are the fireplace of any home. And for my daughters, I always instilled in them, I told them, sing in the voice that the Creator gave you. You know, don't be scared to share that, because it's a gift and everybody has that. And if we share it, then what you send out into the universe is going to come back. And always have that good mentality when you do that. And they used to sing in the car in the back. I'd make them sing. I think, hey, I'd shut off the radio, right? And that's what I told Fawn and Raven, Naomi, and Tia, sing in your own voice. And I would make them sing all kinds of songs. We'd sing all kinds of songs, and we'd sing them together. And we'd sing songs that were tongue twisters, so that you'd get good control of your blah, 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 like that. We'd sing all kinds of crazy songs, eh? And there was a few times there where we sat and sang with the kids, and that was amazing at a powwow and stuff like that. I do believe that our ladies and our Indigenous women's voices are paramount to the wellness of the people, and I believe that their voices need to be resounding in every community and in every home around our this great country we call Kanata. Mina Uge. A few years ago, there we had a memorial run all summer for the missing and murdered Aboriginal woman, and that was from Stone Stables and out of Mosquito Stone Staples. Boy, it was a beautiful, beautiful presentation, and the energy of it, and the continuum of the reminder that our relatives are still out there, that we still pray for them, and that energy and intention of spirit to reconnect and to clarify and even to transcend into righteousness, that whole situation with our relatives that are still missing, and with this modern day society that we go on, and with the speed of the technological reality that we actually exist in, a lot of these I think a lot of the issues are talked about a little bit, and then they fall on deaf ears, then they go silent. I think we need to continue, and it's formats like this that bring us an opportunity to remind people of the continuum of the systemic racism that continues yet today. Even I read a story the other day about a music award, and they were talking about music awards giving to Indigenous people, and there was a comment made, and this is at a big high level of communication within that association, within that industry, about how we'd go pound our trophies. So it's statements like that lend to us to continue to be vigilant, to continue to be vigilant, to exercise and come to a coherent place within society, so they understand, and we create a little more understanding. I don't think that hating each other, and I don't think that going to war with each other in any format, whether it's through the media or even if it's physical, that's not the answer. That's not the answer.
Right. Me and River were actually having some conversations over the last little bit about, what roles do we play as men in those situations, and what we need to do to start healing ourselves as men, and bring positivity and wellness, and talk about our mental health. And River, even at the start of the show, was talking about a little bit about the going to mental health wellness day. And I think that it's really important to speak to other men, and especially men that are older than us, and that can give us a little bit more insight, as somebody that maybe is looking for guidance, or looking for understanding, or looking for culture or identity as a man. What's some advice you could give to the men out there that, how to help ourselves, how to heal, how to work on ourselves and be better men for everybody? And
you don't ask little questions, do you? You're not going to ask simple questions there, right? Well, personally, myself, I think one of the main things that regarding me as an Indigenous man, and when I talk to men, I always talk about myself. I think that we were interrupted within our own realities and our own worldviews and our perception of self, eh? And I think that what we have right now is we have a lot of our brothers out there suffering and unable to communicate. Not that they don't want to communicate, but the outlets are not available for them, and the safety. Yeah, with us as men, pride is a big thing. We're prideful, we're warriors, eh? And this, even the talk about sexual abuse like that it's kind of sometimes it kind of quietens the room a bit. So I think delivery, tone of voice and language and wording. Myself, I think if we could have some kind of a virtual or some kind of a connective way where men could come and talk as men about being men and about being the challenges we have as Indigenous men within the framework of our home fires, within the framework of our families, within the framework of our communities, within the framework of our workplaces, and within the framework of our own individual selves. Um, but myself, I think it would need to be culturally based. I also think that it would be wonderful to have men connect from many different communities to talk about men issues, to talk about things that were maybe even taboo at one time for us. But if we're going to heal, and if we're going to take that step, that courageous step towards it and put that paint on and go towards a healing process within ourselves, that's going to be a ripple effect. That is worth whatever it takes to get there. Uh, Really, I would think. And I also think that it would be very nice to see some form of a national association for Indigenous men's wellness, and some place where people could go, and there may be a database where there'd be available help that came from an Indigenous perspective. I don't know. There's a lot more healthier men than me. You can ask.
No, that's man, I
My
love
big-
that.
My biggest challenge as an Indian man is finding some place where I can speak, and some place where I can speak without being judged, without the fear of being judged.
Yeah.
As an Indigenous man, and where I could leave intact with
Yeah.
my pride. And it's always a little scary. It's always a little scary to talk. But I feel like our Indigenous men, that they are warriors. They are fire keepers. They are the hunters and the providers. And that same spirit yet is evident within each and every Indigenous man out there. We're all warriors. And to be able to look at ourselves and love ourselves and accept ourselves for exactly what we are and who we are today, that is going to create a foundation. It opens up the wings to take flight. So that might be, something like that.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, those are brilliant, brilliant ideas. And it's interesting you say that because Ray just made a status, I believe, yesterday with wanting to build a community, like a group chat for men to speak. And like to go on top of that, there's absolutely no reason why it can't be for all men from all walks of life. Elder men, adult men, adolescents, two-spirit men, the youth, the boys who are growing into men. We do have to create a safe space like that, because that's one thing I noticed as Indigenous people, as well, Indigenous men, is we're often very more confrontational and very reserved, and we don't really open up. Like me and Ray really didn't start opening up to with a lot of our problems until we started this podcast, until that mental health became a big thing to us. And like we wouldn't have had that without our guests coming on and without our support and everybody supporting us. And it's we're just destigmatizing that. There's nothing wrong with showing emotion to fellow men, and there's nothing wrong with even showing affection. There's nothing wrong at all. So yeah, no, those are brilliant ideas. And I mean, you just planted a seed. I'm sure you planted a seed for the viewers. I'm sure you obviously planted a seed for both me and Ray. So there's definitely something that we can go from that. And I want you to realize that, like you speaking right now, you are creating that group for men to speak, because that's what we are doing now, without judgment. Without judgment, we are learning, and we are learning from you, and it's just a honor to have you speak with us today, with how much wisdom you share, with how much knowledge you have. It's we could definitely benefit from that, especially as younger men. So yeah, we definitely have to get on that, and you should definitely play a big part in that.
Interesting. Thank you.
All right, Earl. Let's switch to something else. I've seen people in the comments asking you. I want to know personally as well too. Like, where does the style come from, man? Because you are the as electrifying as you sound, you look electrifying as well too. You always got a great hat on. You always got good vest. I see the cuffs there. Everything that you wear just resonates who you are. So tell us a little bit about where you get your fashion style from. Maybe a few designers that you like, or yeah, just what inspires you to get those clothes on every day.
Well, myself, I'm a person who relishes in the past, and I think we could learn from that, because we have something that we have a cliche. They say history repeats itself, and I've often seen it do that. So I like antiques. I like older stuff, and like these cups here, they're not antiques. My daughter Tia gave them to me. Thank you, Tia Birdie. She my kids, they help me, right? My son got me this Wiser, thank you, and this vest I kind of created on my own or whatever. But regarding the style, I like this, like with the Rogers hometown hockey stuff, that lady, Roxanne Pasquiak from Saddle Lake made. We got a lot of talented people in all over communities, all over Indigenous people. There's so many beautiful, you see all those beautiful work out there, and just so much. And those are expressions of our people. That's the expression of their world, Indigenous view, their Indigenous worldview, and it is completely amazing. So myself, anytime I represent our people in any scale, in any capacity, I always try to wear my finery. Okay? I always try to instill that in our youth. Be proud of who you are. Okay? Be proud of who you are and shine, and don't and be even if you're a little off, it's great. I always used to tell my son, nerds are cool, and stuff like that. So be unique and celebrate your authentic self. Be you. That's a message I give to all the kids when the young people I work with. We talk about individuality. We talk about reclamation of self and celebrating yourself for the wonderful marvel you are, and a gift you are to this earth and all your family members. So, regarding I know I digress. You asked me something, and I go all over.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love when you touch on multiple subjects while still getting your point across. It's really good to see. No, I love seeing the looks all the time and all the different styles, different colors that you put together. Tell us a little bit about Segway Productions and what they're doing with Indian Relay, and a little bit about them, and I'll get another video ready that I think the people are going to enjoy.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to thank Segway Productions. They've been along for the Indian Relay ride, and with media, it really promotes the sport, and it also brings it to people that were otherwise unable to join us there. That electric energy can transcend through that TV screen, but boy, if you're there live, you're going to get it completely electric and on the raw. So we're going to invite you, and this is in Enoch, and I actually was announcing this, and I walked right off of that thing while the race was going on, so we just kept going, right? So anything can happen in Indian Relay.
Number 2.
I think this might have been the championship.
There's the thunder and the drum begins to roll. Onion-like bounces out to the front side. Boy, oh boy, now it's going to be heathen anchor. Oh, a shot and a half. Look, we're having a little trouble on the backside. Didn't boy where to come through traffic. Oh, Wild and Cray's not going to let him get free. Wild and Cray floats about too wide. Asks for the Buffalo Pony a little bit. Oh, they're going to go stride for stride like an arrow loose. We're trying to outrun the wind on the pony. Onion Lake, boy, oh boy. That will be Heathen Anchors, but Buck, Wild and Crazy in the hunt. And then we're going to go back down there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 440 Nation sitting third. We'll go back about 15. Deep poles. We're going to pick up Papa Chase, and on the backside, that's going to be Snake Hills Relay, Satellite Geek and Shirts on the backside of this one. Oh, we're still having some trouble in Enfield. They round up, boy, they come around that fourth corner in fully equine glide. On the front end, it is going to be. That is Riley Baptiste from Heathen Anchors. He knows he's got two more electric, exciting exchanges to go, and he ain't going to let up now. On the backside, we'll go back about 4 TV folks. Here comes Wild and Gray. Watch the exchange. Watch the catcher. Let's go. That horse jumps on. A little bit of complacency and a little bit of seconds taken off for that Onion Lake team right there. We got a rider coming on in. Wild and Cree is on. We got 2 loose Buffalo ponies on the front end. And boy, oh boy, that is going to be Riley Baptiste. He's in Anchors. He's in traffic. We got loose Buffalo ponies on the track. In behind him, we'll go back about 3. We'll go back about, boy, I'd say about 17 deep poles. We're going to pick up Wild and Cree. Look what's happening on the backside. That is going to be Papa Chase is trying to make some noise from the back end. Boy, look at that big Buffalo pony beginning to find his full glide. As they ride down to the port, we still got loose Buffalo ponies all over. It's an extreme sport, and it happens all over this track. And they round the third.
Earl, I gotta ask, how do you not run out of breath when you're doing this?
I don't know. I just go with the spirit. I just get caught up in it. You know, you gotta go for a ride. You either go for it or you stay in bed. That's what I do. And all these guys go for it. These are modern day warriors. These are the modern day warriors.
Boy, oh boy!
Earl, the Indian relay.
That's why we have our cowboys coming on up. Look on the print side down there. That 440 Nation. Boy, oh boy, that is going to be Papa Chase trying to get on it. Man, oh man, he gets going on the front side. Oh, Papa Chase Relay is making them chase them down. Wild and Crazy, the second one to get out of here. They're about 30 TV poles behind the leader. And then we'll go back about 6 TV poles from Onion Lake, Saskatchewan. We're going to pick up Heathen Anchors. That's Riley Baptiste. Got a long way to go to catch that eagle in flight on the front side. He swooped down to the rail and never looked back. Boy, oh boy, we're about 3/4 the way down the back of the Moxon backstretch. He rounds the third. He's going to be looking for TV corner. That is, ladies and gentlemen, Papa Chase. Josh Jackson from Papa Chase. Man, oh man, gonna put an exclamation mark on this heat right here. Doing a clinic on the inside. Rounds TV corner in fully inclined glide. Ladies and gentlemen, they're coming your way. If you want to pay them off, man, oh man, right now, here he comes. Looking for another exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause. Papa Chase Relay. Josh Jackson rolls in. Look at the charge for a second. Onion Lake Riley Baptiste ran him down. By golly. Wild and Crazy in Monero, but by golly, a little too late for the date at the White Heron Indian Relay. Your heat number 2.
Does that take you back a little bit, Earl? Are you missing the track already right now?
Oh yeah, like I miss the spirit of it. I miss the spirit of our people being in their natural element, and that we are in our natural element when we are in any competitive sport. You know that, like I say, that Indigenous worldview has a place in modern society, and I think it would bring coherency, and I think it would bring coherency. There's one thing it would bring. Oh, show, but it would also bring, ladies. I think it would bridge it. You know, it bridges the people. You know, when I think about struggles of our people. Think about people in hockey, right? You think about the late Fred Sassakaboose and what he's left and what he accomplished and the trails he blazed for the rest of the ones that were coming. So people like that, you know, and I think in order to honor them, honor the people that have gone and done these things for all of us. An inclusive thought would be to take personal responsibility to that collective energy and that collective endeavor we have as Indigenous people to have a collective wellness and collective use of our intelligence in a clear, coherent, responsible manner that is Indigenous worldview.
Right. Let me ask you something, Earl. Is it hard to go back to announcing powwow and round dances or smaller events now that you do a lot of Indian relay, or how do you balance the workload, I guess, and the energy levels and just what do you have to kind of cater to each crowd? Or are there things that you notice that work for some and don't work for others? Just just some more insight about the ins and outs of being an MC.
Well, there's no small venues. There's no small events. Everyone is magnanimous and epic for that nation. So I go there with that mentality. It is a complete honor. It's not a right. It's not a right to do these things. It's a privilege. Just like living, it's not a right. It's a privilege to wake up in the morning. It's a gift. To use that and use that cognizance, to use it in a good way, to have that as a foundation for your daily thoughts, that you are given another gift. So when I go to these communities, it doesn't matter if there's 10 people there or 500 or 15,000 or whatever, 10,000, 500, 600, whatever. They're all the same. They're all epic. They're all wonderful celebrations, and they're all opportunities for us to celebrate, come together, and reinvigorate and reset ourselves as Indigenous people. And so, no, it's an easy transition from, say, a rodeo, go to a chuck wagon, you go to a round dance, or to a powwow. But there are different disciplines in each. But and then there are some that are all the same. One of them is being respectful and being available and letting the people there know how grateful you are to be a part of their celebration. So it's not really much of a big change. It's just the wording is a little bit different, and the vibe and the flow, but you get caught up in the spirit of what you're doing. And this wakuto inuma, this relating, it's easy to get caught up in love. It's a lot easier to get caught up in love than it is in hate. So the energy of love is, I think that I also think that when you go to these places to MC, it's an opportunity for you to illuminate whatever truth you have regarding holistic wellness, but not to preach to the people. And as an MC, I got to tell you, there has been times when I've said things and, I wish I could disappear at that moment. With a slip of the tongue and stuff, you say stuff and you can't take them back. That's the power of the word. So you can't take it back, that vibratory reality that we live in. So that's a big responsibility as a MC when you know the power of the spoken word, the true energy and the power of every word having its own precise, specific meaning. And being able to reiterate that and be conscious and be cognizant of everybody that's within the sound of your voice. So sometimes that could be challenging.
Yeah, no, it's cool. That's I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't have anybody else but you emceeing their events because you bring the good energy. You're family friendly. You create an environment for everybody to laugh. It's not just one demographic. That's really cool. There was actually a comment here where somebody said, ask Earl about Ernie Phillips.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, in our lives, we have people that we could meet we meet them in a few minutes, or we could know people forever. That person you meet for a few minutes can have a profound effect on your life. That's the power of words, right? And connectiveness and coherency, responsibility towards your coherency. Uh, So Ernie Phillips he was a gentleman and is a gentleman that was a mentor for me. He's a shoe swap. He's a shoe swap warrior. And he's over 80 years old now, that man. He's Eagle Dancer, that one. He was world champion, fancy dancer. Very well-known man. They made a documentary. His name is Ernie Phillips. And we used to do shows with him. He's the one that inspired me. He said, you know what? We could educate them. We were talking. We were going to go and do a show. It was at Expo 86, Expo 86 in Vancouver. We did a gig there, I think, for about 2 weeks, a month altogether. We went there another time, 2 weeks. But he told me that. He said, we could educate them by doing this. And you could use laughter to do it. You can talk about very taboo subjects through humor. So I found that humor is a wonderful catalyst and a vehicle to delve in and open dark rooms. It's a wonderful catalyst to illuminate the elephant that's in the room. I found that to be a wonderful vehicle for that. Healing has a wonderful element to it that puts a person in a place of understanding, acceptance, and willing to accept as a reality. So a lot of these comedic stuff that I do, I try to instill thought. I don't want people to believe me. I'd rather you think about what I'm saying. I think to believe something relieves you of the responsibility of continuing to be analytical about what it is you are believing in. So I'd like to continue the energy of thought.
Wow, man. I don't know what to say. That's yeah. Have you ever got into dancing? Have you ever started dancing, or was it just the singing piece?
Oh, I used to dance. Chicken. I danced chicken. I tried traditional. I tried fancy one time because there was only one guy in the category. Boy, I regretted it, man. After that second start, all of a sudden, my brothers were telling me, boy, all of a sudden those feathers just stopped moving. So, yeah. So, but myself, I found that dancing was what that helped me do was for me to be able to say, put myself in front of people and express myself. So, to be embarrassed about myself, to have that fear, doubt, and insecurity about myself. Dancing helped me break that wall. I remember the first time I danced in a full outfit as a man after not dancing for many, many years from my boyhood. I was really stiff. I went to a mission there, and there was this champion dancer. He's still champion dancer, Peter Joe Oney from Might Swan, chicken dancer, And I knew he was a champion, right? And I was dancing there, and he came dancing beside me, and I danced with him for just a little while there, and I felt, hey, I could do this, I felt good. He said, oh, you look good. He just said a few words to me, and he inspired me just like that, So whenever you have a chance, to inspire somebody, to say something honest and profoundly beautiful to them about anything, about any situation, I believe the power of that love goes through those vibratory words that we share. So yeah, I used to dance a little bit like that, and that's about it. Used to dance, and I loved it. I would still dance, I would if I could. I actually could. See, that's the thing. See the power of the word. Catch yourselves. And as we do it, they say it takes 10 days to to have a habit, something to become habit, right? And essentially, as when you look at it, there's a lot of things in nature that happen habitually, right? There's a lot of animals that are habitual. We are such. So if we could do that for positive things, I think just as well as negative things, they could be done in a positive way as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool way to look at it. Animals are habitual. I never thought of it like a deer loses its antlers every at the beginning of every year, and then they grow it in the summer, and then they have the velvet all summer, and then they scrape it off, right? And they have these big horns. So that's such a very, very cool way to look at it. Um, we will get into some fan questions now. How about that? Right here, we have one from Cynthia Jim that says, asking if he's ever won a drumming contest with his family drum.
Yep. We won dance. We sang, family in boy, that was up north there someplace, but we won up there. It was in boy, oh boy, come on, Earl. Prince George, not Prince George, but it was up north here in Alberta. I'll think about it by the time we're finished here. They used to have a good powwow out there and we sang, And Fawn was our lead singer. And on Sunday, I'm not going to tell you what happened with anybody else. I'll just tell you what happened with us. On Sunday, we had a crisp lead singer, which was fun, So we sang Fawn, Tia, Raven, and myself, their mom, and my adopted son, my adopted son, and him. And we won. And so that was for me, that was probably a highlight of my drumming career, winning a drumming contest with my own family, my kids and stuff. So that was something that, was epic.
Awesome. We got another question here. What was the most influential event in your life that made you want to take the path you've taken?
A predatory energy has landed here, and it's I'm one that I think it's part of a mining process, part of mining the essence of who we are as human beings, and it's part of a process that's mining the essence of our mother and all our relatives that exist on it. Regarding moments that change your time, your train of mind, I believe it happens all the time. We either choose to take the responsibility for that reality or we don't. And it's very painful. I never realized I was healing till I was gut-wrenching pain, till I felt like I was getting turned inside out. Then I realized, hey, I must be really healing here because it really hurts, right? And there were times that when I was in residential school and when I, came from there were times in my young life that were profoundly effective in prodding me to want to become more clear about myself. Unfortunately, some of the things that we are unwilling participants in can really affect us without us really knowing it, and then we accept it as a norm. We accept chaos as a norm. We accept dysfunction and imbalance and trauma. And the Creator gave us something. It's our intelligence. It's our evolutionary protection in this technological reality that we live in. And I truly believe that's our one greatest medicine that He gave us, and that's love. To just exercise it, to exercise your intelligence in a clear, coherent, responsible manner. Thank you.
Wow, that's great. That was a great question and a great answer. Thank you for that, Earl. We got another question here again. What about John Trudell? You got a love for John Trudell, Earl?
Yeah, I think he's very intelligent. I liked his work. And I think he was very instrumental in revitalizing the Indigenous voices at a political level regarding the realities that we were forced to exist in. You know, so yeah, I really appreciate his work. I think there's been a lot of eloquent people, even people on my reserve, our elders, when they talk so eloquently and beautiful. I've been to many different communities in Saskatchewan for round dances and for powwows and gatherings and Indian relay and chuck wagons. When you get those elders to get up and speak, those are monumental moments. Those are moments to be captured. Those are moments that are going to resound into the future, into our history. They resound and they bounce back from the past. So yeah, when I hear them speak, that's knowing the language. It's that much more profound for you. It's that much more real.
I hope. Oh, look, right here. Okay, we'll try once more. A song. He drinks water. Can we hear some of that Northern Cree, the OG?
Really? You guys want to hear me sing?
Wow, yeah.
Well, um, myself, I think singing is an expression of authentic spirit, and it's the ultimate communication. Eh? However, humor is a big part of it. So I've gotten songs, I've made songs, and they never reach people's ears, right? They're just for me and whatever cat or dog's listening, right? Some of them are pretty cool. I could tell you some. I could tell you some titles, and I'll let you pick one. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Big Kitty knows more songs than you do, Ray.
I bet
From
he.
listening.
Anyway, one song I made is called uh, "You're Not Even My Real Dad." I got one of those. You guys are. Okay. I won't kid with you anymore. Okay. Okay. I will try sing a song without embarrassing myself. All right. Yeah. Can we come back to the song thing? Can you ask me another question first? I'm a little nervous about the song. With emceeing, when you MC Indian relay, nobody really looks at you. You're too caught up in the horses, right? So you got that little cushion there, and the crowd's way over there, right? So all you have to do is just catch the energy and go for the ride, right? But singing is a whole different concept. You're putting yourself out there. So anytime you get asked to sing by relatives, go ahead and do it, because you have a beautiful song in you. Whatever comes out, it's going to be wonderful and beautiful vibratory energy for the people listening.
All right.
So is this like when you asked me to sing, are we kind of like getting to the end of the podcast or what?
Yeah, so basically what we do is we have fan questions as like towards kind of the end of the podcast.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so a lot of our fans ask questions, one fan asks to sing. If you don't want to sing yet, or there's one here that you can answer. It says, when you leave from your home flyer to venture out to your destination, what do you do to prepare for the journey?
Good question. Well, what I like to do, I like to sweat before I go, and if I'm going to go for a weekend to go MC somewhere, I like to sweat. I like to say a little prayer for the trip and for that where I'm going to go away to that event, for the people to have a good time, come home safe, like that. I always like to put a little tobacco down on the ground. I do this, and smudge. I like to smudge before I leave my home. And when I come back, I always say, hey, hey, I say, thank you for bringing me home. Look after my family, look after my loved ones, like that. And yeah, that's what I do. So that's and that kind of sets you in a place of balance and synchronicity within yourself, your spirit and your intentions of what you're going to do. So you feel a lot more better about that. And I think that's part of that cognizance of spirituality.
So, so I have a question. Have you grown up around the horses? Have you like rode horses growing up?
Oh yeah, when we were small, we had horses, but we liked going across the creek, to go steal my Kokum's horses, right? Yeah, we'd steal her horses and ride them around all day, swim and stuff like that. That was great. They call us the Creek people in Saddle Lake. That's who we're. That's Sipisakiano. That's the Cardinals, and that's our relatives all up and down that creek down there, right? They call us the Creek people. We used to ride horses all over the reserve. I go in them. I had a really good friend, my best friend, one of my best friends when I was a kid. His name is late Andy McCocus. And him and I used to ride all day. He had this black, and I used to ride his late brother's, late Martin's horse. He had a nice sorrel. I used to ride him. His name was Stanley. We'd ride all. They see these profound moments with the equine world, and teaches you about yourself, and it teaches you about humanity. It also teaches you about cooperation and patience, and resilience and partnership and and understanding and communication. Teaches you a lot of these things. So yeah, we rode all over. Then it got on. My brothers and I started out riding and rodeo riding, out road in Calgary, with my brothers. Right up there with Edgar Baptiste, late Ray Cardinal, late Johnny Cardinal. Those guys are from Saddle Lake. They were chuck wagons, chuck wagon men. And we raced against guys like Buddy Bensmiller, stuff like that. It was very exciting, doing that Indian relay, and rode bulls, and rode saddle bronc, rode horses. My brothers and I rode in the rodeo there a little bit. Rode some bulls, broke my leg, and I thought, I better not do that anymore. Not that good anyway. Yeah, so I didn't do that anymore. And still ride horses. I used to race myself. I used to have chariots and chuck wagon. I used to have a chuck wagon team and stuff like that. So yeah, then I decided to go into announcing these races, right? I used to, and I do a little bit of equine therapy with kids. So I think this, once again, this young arrow Indian relay arrow of coherency for the young people is going to be amazing this summer. So that is going to be a beautiful program, and we are going to invite all of you out there, all of you. We will just come on over and be with us, and we'll have a great time, and we'll have a good lunch, and we'll put some paint on, we'll ride those ponies, and we'll feel proud, and we'll have a great, fantastic day. You're invited to come for a ride.
Wow, man. I'm really excited for Young Arrow. So you'll be launching that this summer pending COVID, and it'll be in each distinct community. You'll bring the program to? Is that how it works?
Yes, it's going to be free to the communities. It's going to be free, and all you will show up at these communities. Haven't worked it out how we're going to do it, because we're going to be inundated with children. So we'll take a few, and girls and boys, not just boys, girls and boys. And we'll do a couple groups one day, a couple groups the other day, and it's going to be great. And we're going to give them something to commemorate the event. And it's a process. It's a little process, a little mini workshop. It's a inclusive, right? You're in experiential learning, and you touch on some of these aspects of indigenous worldview and horses, and how that could there's values, and how that could have that delicate dance of coherency, which could lead to, and does lead to, holistic value awareness is made within the person. And then, like I say, these profound moments, if we can recreate them and keep offering them to our young people in a palatable, understanding, non-intrusive manner, when it comes from love, when it comes from kindness and honesty, they'll respond to it, and they will be. It's just going to be amazing, and for me to be a part of it, I'm just elated, and I'm very humbled, and I feel very grateful, fortunate. Thank you.
Wow, we're really excited for the Young Arrow program to be going down this summer with Mr. Earl Wood, and I think any kid that can sit around you for a couple of days and learn from not as you, but also the horses as well, and just have that sense of knowledge and ideas that maybe they never saw before. I think that's really important. We're going to go to one more fan question here, and that is, what is your favorite thing in the whole world to do with your grandchildren? What do you like to do with your grandchildren?
The favorite thing?
Yeah.
My favorite thing to watch them do is I like watching them open presents at their birthdays or Christmas. And I also like watching them give their parents a hard time. That's my favorite thing, man. When my grandkids are talking, oh boy, that was you, right? I love it when they come over and play. I love it when they come over and play. I love it when we have barbecue and when we have sweat. They don't come in to sweat yet, but they come around, eh? And that interest is peaking in it. There's an interest there, right? I want it to be a natural evolvement for them, right? So they come around in between round, maybe come and sit one or two in there. That's it, and that's wonderful, right? That's part of an experiential process right there, an inclusive process, eh? So that's something I really look forward to. I would love for one of my children, I think Ambrose, I got one there. Yeah, the smarter, not the smarter one, the bigger one, right? And you would hope he's a little smarter than the little one. And he is, Alex. He's kind of a smart, that one's going to be a tech, I think, in that. But the little guy there, that's the one I'm hoping to be a cowboy. You know, and then there's Ava. Maybe that one there, you know, you never know. A little tornado herself and Raylan. So I'm looking forward to having one of them be excited about horses. I think it's gonna be Ambrose. Yeah.
Awesome. We're looking forward to the next generation of wood cowboys, man. I'm excited. I just wanted to thank you first. How we usually do the we wrap up is we like to put our guest up on the main stage, and we'd like you to share some kind words and, you know, talk about what you got going on and what you're going to be doing moving forward. And then once you come back in, we'll thank you and send you off with some good words. So we're going to put you up on the main screen here. Now take as much time as you'd like, Mr. Wood, and we'll be here on the other side.
Okay. Hey, Ray.
Yes, sir.
In closing, don't forget we'll acknowledge those pictures, eh?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, we'll close them out on the other side.
These are my relatives, you know, we're all related, you know, we're all relatives, you know, and as Indigenous people, when we take a journey together and we create something, you know, that divisive natured stuff, it's not ours. That is an intention that is predatory towards our intentions of clarity as Indigenous people. I want to thank all the people out there that are in the Indian relay racing scene. Every time you guys come on a track, you instill pride. You instill that beautiful feeling about being prideful about who you are as an Indigenous person. So thank you very much, Stick Racing, Stick Anton from Palmaker, Saskatchewan. We're going to thank Stone Staples from Mosquito. That's going to be Mansell Stone and Cheryl Gopher. We're going to thank, ladies and gentlemen, Lightning Striking all the way from Mr. Awasis, TK Barrier Services, Tyson Head. That is a record-setting, ladies and gentlemen, first ever Canadian Indian Relay Racing Championship team. We're going to welcome a brand new team to the Indian Relay Racing scene. Papa's Chase, Calvin Bruno out of Edmonton. We're going to look for you on a rail this summer, partner. And from Soto, thank you very much, Soto, Chief Kenny Moxon, for putting on that electric event in Soto. It was epic. Putro Stable, the pride and speed of Soto. We'll go over to Beardy's, ladies and gentlemen, the photographer. This guy catches those moments that are going to be etched in memoriam time. Curtis Cameron, the eye in the sky. Thank you very much, Red Peasants, Mike Watney, MT Stables, for the beautiful pictures sent. And man, oh man, look at the youth, ladies and gentlemen. Look for them. These are the little Braves warriors, and they're going to be looking to light it up wherever they are. And once again, don't forget, One Arrow is going to be coming your way this summer. We're going to invite you all to come out and be safe out there. This COVID reality that we live in, you know, we can conceptualize and we can materialize a different path for ourselves with a collective mentality and a personal responsibility to that collective endeavor. So I invite everybody to be vigilant with your COVID your procedures regarding your own health. I also would like to thank the production company here. This young man, I asked him what his name was, and he said Deadly Uncle Productions. Yeah. Well, he sounded like Ernie Munoz. So we are an anti-slayer. Boy. But thank you very much. And also Grizzly Bear Lean Head Grizzly Bear Head Lean Man First Nation. Thank you very much, Gil, for lending us this beautiful equipment here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to be here today. And, whatever gift Creator gave us, whatever he gave, whatever gift you have, don't be afraid to exercise it, because it is a medicine for somebody out there, for everybody out there, and if we can continue to move towards a collective good for everybody. And Indian Relay has been a catalyst, and it's an arrow of coherency towards that endeavor as Indigenous people. So thank you very much for having me, Ray, and thank you very much for inviting me on here. And I'm going to look forward to some more shows watching you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. And exit my God.
Hey, thank you so much, Earl. I just want to, wow, there's a lot of information here. There's a lot of good words. There's a lot of insight that, I feel like me and River are going to go back and watch over and over and over again, because you're such a wise person, and you know how to communicate in a level that, not many people have ever reached. So to hear that and to have that on our show, it's really amazing. And knowing you as well on a personal level, and getting to kind of sit by your side and hear you speak to me, and the words that you've said to me in private, it's really cool. And it's something that I don't take for granted. I remember you probably gave me the coolest compliment I've ever received in my life. And you told me, "I like your worldview." That was something that sticks with me to this day. I like to carry that with me wherever I go, and remember that, and always try to look at things from a different angle. And I think you've given that to me. So I just want to say hi, and thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'll let River jump in. You're on mute.
Computer froze. My bad. No, yeah, I just want to say again, thank you, Earl. Like with everything that Ray said, I just want to elaborate that. Thanks on giving us the opportunity to speak to you, to listen to your stories that not a lot of people know, to just for more people to know that, like, who Earlwood is, and the type of energy you have, and this very good mindset that you're very caring. I'm very interested to meet you, and whenever COVID subsides, I want to come to one of your sweats with Raymond, because he always tells me about it, and I know I'm missing out. I know for a fact I'm missing out. Listening to you in the sweat lodge singing your songs, listening to your brother Randy Wood sing his songs. I'm one of his biggest fans. I love his music. Just listening to everybody sing, that sounds very healthy, and that healing energy we need. So yeah, thanks again. That's all I want to say. Is it means a lot for you to jump on here with us, and I hope to see you again in Soto whenever Soto has their relay races again. I hope to see you there being an MC with my dad, and I'll be sure to keep running to get coffee for you guys, and be a little rover.
Yeah, I remember that, man. Your dad's a cool dude, man. Yeah, we had fun up there. Hey, Soto was a good show. Soto was a good show. And the community came out and they had a great time. And man, there was a lot of electric energy all weekend long there. Some epic races. So yeah, Yeah, that was your dad. You tell him I said hello. I remember, yeah, he was a cool guy. We had some good fun up there. We had some good laughs, So yeah, you impressed me as a young man there. The way you conducted yourself. So way to go to you, two young role models, two young warriors, techno warriors. They're gonna take us into the future. So thank you very much. And this kind of media stuff, this kind of stuff, it's gonna help in the continuum and the retention and the reclamation of the indigenous worldview and the language, and to instill that pride in our people that they don't forget who they are and where they come from, so that they'll know where they're going. And so thank you very much for inviting me on here. And Ray, I'm very proud of you. I think you're a fabulous young man, So thank you for coming. You bring your buddy to Sweat down there, Yeah.
All right.
And we'll tell him we'll tell him we don't sweat with anything, and he'll come. I'm standing there naked. But yeah, come and check us out, man. We'll pray together. We'll have a little bit of something to eat together and like that. Yeah, Ikusumaga.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hi, Earl. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What's that, Earl? Thank you very much for foxing around.
All right. Hey, that was dope. One time I'll tell this story real fast. I remember me and Earl were getting ready to go to Sweat, and we had to go steal some rocks from somebody, some back road man, and we were just throwing them in real fast. And he was twice my age, and he was working way faster than I was. It was pretty funny, man. That was a great episode, man. I got nothing but love and respect for Mr. Earl Wood, and getting to know him on a personal level, and being around his family. They're all great people, and you can tell he's done a really good job in his own life and raising his children. And yeah, I got nothing but good words for Mr. Earl Wood. So he's dope.
Yeah, bro, so dope, man. Yeah, no, that was a really good show. What next? Do we say?
Yeah. All right, here we go. So next week on the Foxing Around podcast, man, we got none other than Mr. Ted Nolan coming through. We're really excited about it. Yeah, man, that's one of those, those things where just every time that you get on this thing, there's somebody that's going to teach us something and give us knowledge and understanding. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. So tune in next Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be interviewing Mr. Ted Nolan, former NHL Coach of the Year. Had a hell of a run as a coach in the NHL, and then he didn't. So we're going to explore a lot with Mr. Ted Nolan and speak to him about a variety of issues, and we're really looking forward to that. Once again, hi, thank you so much, Earl Wood and Nathan Arias as well, too, and everybody that put together Earl's production tonight. After this, make sure you guys go check out Indigenous Radio Show. They're on literally right after us. What time is it now? So it's 9:40. Yeah, they'll be on in 10 minutes. Check them out on their Facebook. It's called Indigenous Radio Show. We got a lot of love for Curtis and Corey Standing, man. They both had us on their show before. They're a father and son duo, and they kill it, man. And they bring a lot of good energy to what they do. So if y'all want to keep this Indigenous podcast thing rolling, man, keep doing it. Watch all the shows all week, man, and give us your support, and make sure you're supporting everybody with a like, with a share, whatever you can do to support them, because sky's the limit for this Indigenous podcast game, man. And I'm glad we're carving out our own little role in it, but we're also trying to support everybody else.
And this episode is brought to you by who?
Cleanest Way. Y'all already know. Treyway, Cleanest Way. Yeah, we got a lot of love for Shannon Brass and Dave and all the guys over there at Cleanest Way that sponsor all our episodes. We just want to say hi and thank you for believing in us the way you do. Go check them out on Facebook at Cleanest Way. They're doing a lot of duct and furnace cleaning inside First Nations reserves. Cleaning the air, man. Can't get much of a better job than that.
Yeah. I also won a $100 Walmart gift card. That's pretty dope. Probably give this away. Why not, eh? I just won it from school. So yeah, by all means, let's we'll post something about that anyways. But yeah, that's about it, man. Got to get ready for school tomorrow. I got to go eat my pizza, hang out. And
All right.
yeah,
Well,
bro.
take care of everybody, man. Make sure to wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance, wash your ass too if you can. What else you got, Rib?
Nothing, bro. I just want to emphasize on the arse washing.
Yeah, bro. Major key alert. All right. Thank you guys. Much love. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.